Hello and welcome to another edition of It's Later Than You Think. Wow, it has been a minute since I've been able to speak to all of you and that you've been able to hear my lovely voice. It's good to be back. Had a little bit of a end of summer break and I wanted to jump on and talk a little bit about the future state of It's Later Than You Think. We are not going anywhere, but we may not always be here each and every week. So take that however you'd like. Essentially, if I've got some guests to interview, great. If not, that's okay too. I might come on here and there and throw in a solo episode like we're doing today. Otherwise, you're going to be able to hear me on another podcast, which I'll get into in just a few minutes. But I wanted to start today's episode circling back to the whole idea of it's later than you think. And speaking of end of summer, as I mentioned, it is the end of summer. Summer is over. I know what you're thinking. No, the autumnal equinox isn't till the 22nd. Yeah, I get it. I understand how that all works. It's still, quote unquote, officially summertime. But hey, here in the Midwest, here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, it is fall. And I don't just mean with the cooler temps. We're going to get back in the 70s, probably the 80s within another week or two. However, the cooler temps are here right now, and I'm all about it. I wanted to come on and just discuss why it is fall, how great it is that we're in this, what I consider probably the best season of them all. Now, I know there's so many people that love summer, and I do too. I think up until the last couple years, summer was by far my favorite. That's when my birthday is. That's when it's nice and hot. You go swimming, wear shorts and t-shirts, sit outside on a patio with a beverage. All good things. However, I've now started to adjust my mindset and my thoughts and my interests over the last few years, and I'm really digging the fall or autumn season. I just made a post on my socials earlier today regarding why I believe it is truly fall, and it was kind of a fun little knock on a lot of my Milwaukee social media friends that I follow and interact with, how they were reminding me and reminding everyone that summer is not quite over yet. So I have a small list I want to go through, and you can see if you agree with me or you are completely pro-summer until the 21st or 22nd of September. So I've got a list of 5 things I want to go through. The first one being kids are back in school. I'm seeing college students walk around, your own children, your nieces, your nephews, your sons, your daughters. They're back in school. School's started. Summer break is officially over. Next one. Football has now started, and baseball is winding down. The boys of summer, baseball is a long season. Starts late March, goes all the way through the dog days of summer. But now we're getting to the point where there's a few weeks left of the regular season, and the Fall Classic, as they call it, is upon us. The World Series and the playoffs. That's really, not really a summer thing anymore. And NFL football is by far the most popular sport in America. College football has already started as well. All the Packer fans were just gearing up yesterday for the game at Lambeau. Everyone's pumped up. Football's not a summer sport. It's fall. It's winter. The next one is also controversial. It is officially PSL season That's pumpkin spice latte season for all you acronym people. Starbucks sets this. I don't. I didn't determine that in August it was pumpkin spice latte season. I would have possibly waited until at least September, post Labor Day, but that's their marketing and it seems to work for them. So, hey, Starbucks, they're kind of a big deal. They determine it's pumpkin spice latte. That is a fall thing, so another point for it being autumn, even though it's officially not. I got a couple more. Autumn is a short season, at least in Milwaukee anyways. Just let it be. We get September, we get October. You can say, depending on weather, maybe winter doesn't creep up yet, especially with this whole global warming thing, until maybe post-Thanksgiving in the holiday season there. And again, your winter doesn't start until December 21st, but that's ridiculous. Winter time is Thanksgiving and on, okay? It's the holiday season. Holiday means winter, at least for me. So you've got 2 months, really. September, October, we'll even say a little bit of November. That's kind of a shortened period for what is probably the best season of autumn. Once the leaves have changed and fallen off the tree, then things get dirty. All the leaves are brown. The streets start to not look as nice. So we got to enjoy this Labor Day on up until the holiday season rolls around. So let's just enjoy it and give summer the attention in June, July, August, okay? And my last point, and this is just maybe an outlier, the weather in Milwaukee kind of sucked this year anyways. So we don't need to try to, stretch it out for another couple weeks. Just, we have to face that it wasn't an ideal summer weather-wise. And those of you maybe not in Milwaukee or Wisconsin for that matter, it was not great. We're going to start with all the wildfire haze and smoke that was coming down from Canada. I'm not going to blame them, but it just is what it is. For a while there, it was hard to remember what a clear, true blue sky looked like. There was a haze that was on and off again throughout most of the summer here in Milwaukee, up until probably mid-August, I would say. In addition, it was humid. It was muggy. Throw out the words humidity, dew point, whatever that was. Those were definitely in the high 60s, low 70s, or more, or greater, for a lot of days and weeks this summer. I sound like a curmudgeon, an old man complaining about this, but I even felt that it was more so this summer than normal. And for a while there, I thought, is it just me? But then I did, and I don't have the reference off the top of my head, but I did read something a few weeks ago that stated this was the most humid summer on record. Again, I don't recall if that was Wisconsin or Milwaukee area or what, but the most humid season or summer on record since 1979. So that made me feel better about the minor complaining that I was doing. Again, I do love summer. I just wish it would have been a little nicer. The end of August and early September so far was awesome. 70s, sunny, clear skies, low humidity. That's good stuff. So bringing it all back, kind of full circle here. It's later than you think. We want to enjoy the seasons as they come in. But just as that last point, summer, it just didn't work out between us this year. It's just like a relationship, early dating. It didn't go well. Let's just call it what it is. Maybe we can revisit this at another time next summer and see if we can try again. We gave it the old college try, but now college is back in session. It's fall, it's autumn, and let's just, deal with it and let summer go. We'll try again next year. So now that rant is over. I do want to talk about future state of It's Later Than You Think. You may have noticed we haven't had many episodes as of late, and that was somewhat designed. Essentially, if I don't have people that I am going to interview, then there's going to be some lulls in these episodes coming in. I'm not shutting it down because I might get the energy, just like I did over the weekend, to record an episode for It's Later Than You Think. But at the same time, there is another project that I'm working on, and it is another podcast, which I am going to be hosting with my good friend, Steve Counsell. If that name rings a bell, it is because he was on episode number 13 of It's Later Than You Think. That was a conversation with Steve, open to work, social media, and an exclusive club. And speaking of exclusive club, that is the general gist, partly, of the podcast Steve and I are going to be hosting called Grossly Competent. It is a podcast on learning, development, and adulting. And that is going to be coming out this week as well. So you're going to get double bonus content of yours truly with this episode and the first episode of Grossly Competent. I'm really excited to host a podcast with Steve. He is a great dude, has an awesome sense of humor, and we're going to have so much fun hosting that each and every week. And I hope you're able to listen in. It will be on the same platforms that you can find It's Later Than You Think. And so I hope you'll tune in and check us out. And as always, tell your friends. All right, folks. Well, we're going to wrap this one up. So glad that you're able to listen in today. It felt great to come on and record another episode. It's been a little bit since I've had a solo episode, and while those may be few and far between, I am really glad that you have stuck with the podcast, and I hope you all had a very great end of your summer because it is now fall, and we'll talk to you again soon. Take care.